So how much walking does it take for you to improve your physical health and even your emotional well-being? Stay tuned for this episode of Easy Stress Cures. The answers, well, they will be revealed. Steve Carter here, your host for the Easy Stress Cures show. I appreciate you joining me. I would like to highlight a post from the American Heart Association in their news section. The title of this release, Walking Your Way to Better Health. Remember the acronym FIT. In part, this article tells us there's a wealth of evidence showing walking improves heart and brain health, and it actually may help people live longer. Walking can be done almost anywhere inside your home, a local shopping mall, if the weather's bad or there's no safe place to walk in your neighborhood. I encourage you, however, to get outside in Mother Nature. There are tons of studies showing the effectiveness of being out in Mother Nature for emotional well-being. Spending time in greenery, even walking outside in your neighborhood is an excellent way to unwind, relax, and improve your health and emotional well-being. Dr. Barry Franklin, who is the Director of Preventative Cardiology and Cardiac Rehabilitation at Beaumont Hospital in Royal Oaks, Michigan, tells us, quote, "Walking does several things to improve health. It lowers your risk factors for cardiovascular disease, decreases body weight and fat stores, decreases blood sugar levels, modestly improves your lipid profile, and reduces chronic stress." So here's the question: how much walking does it take to make a difference? According to Dr. Felipe Lobello from Emory University, we should keep in mind the acronym FIT, F-I-T, to help us remember those important components of a good walking program. FIT stands for frequency, intensity, and time. Federal physical activity guidelines call for 150 minutes or more of moderate intensity or 75 minutes of vigorous aerobic activity each week. Do remember, you don't have to do it all at once. If you try to cram that 150 minutes in on one day a week, well, you're going to be sore, and in my experience, you're not getting the same benefits as if you space that workout across an entire week. Even 2 or perhaps 3 days a week, in my experience, is better than trying to cram that 150 minutes into one day. Walking 5 days a week for at least 30 minutes each day is fine, according to Dr. Franklin. But he adds that walking for 5, 10, or 15 minutes at a time, as many times as it takes to accumulate your 150 minutes, well, that's perfectly fine as well. The more often you get up and move, the better your physical and emotional health will be. This article also cites a study that was published in The Lancet, which is a medical publication. This study was published in 2011, and it found even 15 minutes of light exercise each day could reduce the risk of dying from any cause by 14% during an average of 8 years of follow-up study of those folks who were in this particular study group. A study published a year later in the American Heart Association journal Stroke found people with low levels of activity with 8 or more hours of daily sedentary time had up to 7 times higher risk of stroke than the more physically active people who reported less than 4 hours of sedentary time daily. One popular way to measure progress is by counting steps. There are apps for your cell phone that will do exactly that, and if you don't happen to have a cell phone, you can buy a step counter at a sports store or through an online service. Those step counters are very inexpensive. While the goal of 10,000 steps per day is widely prominent, another study published in JAMA Network, released in 2021, followed people for more than a decade on average and found those who took at least 7,000 steps each day were 50 to 70% less likely to die than those who walked fewer. Returning to Dr. Franklin, he says those steps could be taken in short spurts of exercise throughout the day. Quote, "Those steps are cumulative. It all adds up." How fast should you walk? According to one 2018 study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, that study found walking briskly reduced the overall risk of dying during the study by 24%. Another in the journal PLOS 1 found that taking too long to walk 1 mile, more than 24 minutes, increased deaths from cardiovascular diseases, dementia, and other causes. I think the takeaway here is get moving at a reasonably quick pace as best you can given your own health situation. The bottom line is do get moving. Now, of course, you will want to consult with your medical doctor before engaging in any type of aerobic exercise. And of course, brisk walking is an aerobic exercise. The American Heart Association news release is summarized in a release from Medical Express. I will have that information linked in the show notes. If you would like to get in touch with me for any reason, my email is cartermethod@gmail.com. You can listen to previous episodes of this podcast and other health and emotional well-being podcasts by visiting stressreliefradio.com. That's stressreliefradio.com. Until our next visit together, your host here, Stephen Carter, and I wish for you and your loved ones blessings in abundance.